Hey guys! Sadly, it is the final day of the 30-day X-Men Evolution Challenge. If you've been here since day one, we've had some rocky episodes, like that time when episode 9 uploaded before episode 7. Sorry about that one. We've had some good times, 2 minutes a day of me talking about X-Men Evolution. It's pretty awesome. Today, all of this comes to an end with the final question, which, in my opinion, is a really good question to save for last, if you will. The question today is, did you like the 1990s X-Men cartoon, or did you like X-Men Evolution? Which did you like better? That is the question. And this is kind of hard for me. I think I owe more to X-Men Evolution. Like I said a few days ago, that show started right around the time when I was first getting into comics, and X-Men Evolution, as well as the live-action movie, they really fostered an interest in the X-Men. And I think if we didn't have X-Men Evolution or that first live-action movie, I don't know if I would be as much of an X-Men fan now as I am. It's entirely possible I wouldn't even be one at all. So I think on that level, I have X-Men Evolution to thank for that. I watched the 90s cartoon when I was younger. I remember having some of the toys like as early as kindergarten, but I don't think it had as much of an influence on my life. I'm definitely pretty sure that I watched more of X-Men Evolution than I did the 90s cartoon. And I know a lot of people really like the 90s cartoon today. Like as adults, they will watch it. I've tried watching that show, and there are some good moments, I will give you that, but it's really hard for me to watch it because a lot of it's just not that good. Especially, if I'm being honest, the animation is really subpar on the 90s cartoon. And part of that is it's the early 90s. It's very much coming out of an era in the 80s where animation was kind of at an all-time low, and it wasn't a whole lot of work was never really put into animation during that era. And the 90s X-Men cartoon was coming out of that time period. X-Men Evolution definitely has better animation than its predecessor, but I do think if I had to choose one, I would say the 90s cartoon is closer to the comics. I'm basically just dancing around this question. This one is the hardest for me to answer because I feel like both shows have their pros and cons. The animated series from the 90s, closer to the comics. The characters are closer to what they are in the comics. With X-Men Evolution, about half of the show was towing the line. It was almost being X-Men, and then it was like, no, let's not quite go there. Let's have all the kids go to a normal high school with normal human kids. Which, that's okay, but if you want X-Men from the comics in the form of an animated series, then you're not going to get that with X-Men Evolution. Ultimately, if I have to make a choice, I guess I would go with the 90s animated series. I loved a lot of things about X-Men Evolution, but in doing this 30-day challenge, I've realized that a lot of things about that show needed a lot of work. They just weren't very good in the first place, or they could have been a lot better. Which, saying that something needs improvement isn't a bad thing. Just, that you think it could have been done better. So that is what I have to say. I am sure a lot of people, if you're watching this, you may disagree with me. If you've taken the time to watch 30 videos where I babble about X-Men Evolution, then you probably like that show a whole lot more than I'm saying that I do here. And let me go ahead and say I do like the show. I just think I like the 90s show a little bit better. If you disagree with me, or if you agree with me, let me know in the comments below. And for the final time, if you want to, you can make a video response. I will be back tomorrow with some other kind of video. Unfortunately, it will not be anything to do with X-Men Evolution. This brings us to the end of our 30-day journey. If you've enjoyed it, I am glad. If you didn't enjoy it, well, then you can rejoice because it is over, and tomorrow I will be talking about something else entirely. So, until then, I will see you guys tomorrow with something that does not have to do with X-Men Evolution. Peace out. Be safe. I love each and every one of you.